In the past, I've given you some advice on how to approach your video content strategy. And in this video, I actually want to talk a little bit about the execution of that strategy and move into the creative piece, because the greatest content strategy in the world is only so good if you don't have any content that you actually produce that's going to be effective in getting you the results that you want. So let's talk about creativity, and let's talk about specifically for your shoot day, because everything in your video is communicating something about your brand, your product, or your service. And I mean everything. So you really need to be careful about, for example, the location of your shoot. Because if you are selling to CEOs of large companies, it doesn't matter if you work from home. They don't need to know that. Your video should communicate that you can play on their level. So you might want to think strategically about where you want to shoot your video. Because to me, having the city of Boston behind you in some high-rise building is going to really set you apart from someone who has an office that's in their house. So let's try to be creative and think of ways that we can get you into a space like that. For example, we have another client that does water filtration, and they do it for very large commercial buildings. Well, their corporate office looks like a corporate office, but guess what? They're not a corporate office kind of a company. They are a company doing amazing things and cleaning our rainwater. So let's shoot them and get some interview content in front of some of these large filtration units. Like, let's go into the space. Let's go where they are at, which is out in the field. It's not in a corporate office. Because how we shoot this thing is going to communicate so much about what it is that you do. So I really want you to start thinking about location. Another thing you really need to think about as you go into your shoot process has to do with how you want to shoot it. So let's pretend that you are in the mortgage business or a banker. Perhaps you really need to communicate that you are steady, that you are trustworthy. In that case, you probably don't want a lot of movement or too quick cuts in your video. So you probably want your camera to be on a tripod. Conversely, let's say that you're a company who you consider yourself culture-wise that you are a company on the move. You are high energy. You might want to think about shooting videos with some movement. You can do movement within your interviews. Remember, everything is permissible as long as it is intentional. So we want you to be intentional with your video content. But for right now, I just really want you to take a step back and realize who your audience is and what you want them to think or feel when they're done watching your video content. And then start thinking about where you want to do your interview and shoot your B-roll and do all this other content, because it's going to communicate so much. And it may not be where your place of business is. Perhaps it needs to be out in the field. So let's have those conversations and let's strategize about what we want to do and where we want to do it and when we want to do it. And if you can do that for yourself, I really think your video content is going to go up to that next level.